Morning, guys. I look totally terrible, but I wanted to record something. I'm actually really sick. So if I cough, I apologize. Um, so yeah, maybe say a prayer. I'm hoping I don't have pneumonia, which would really suck. Um, I've been training for this half marathon, and I'm would be really bummed if I can't continue my training. So anyway, for what it's worth, if you wouldn't mind saying a prayer, that'd be awesome. So I'm not that sick. So I got to go to the doctor today. Um, this one I don't think will be super long, but I think it's a good one for those that have bipolar or any others that get escalated in their irritation when they get pretty upset. This is a very important one and is a big deal. I know in my first marriage, this was a big problem. I blew my top a lot. And I grew up where, I think in my family there was a little bit more conflict and people got upset. So I didn't really perceive it as being a big deal, but I would get upset enough that it was clearly, I never did anything, that was aggressive, but I was really, really upset. And, I think that now looking back, it was borderline out of control. I wasn't self-aware that it wasn't unacceptable until later, and when I went through counseling, actually through my divorce, I was made aware of this before I was officially diagnosed. That you know what, that's not really the way it rolls. You can get upset and get mad, but to get foaming at the mouth, that's something you need to try to check yourself at. So I think the way I've handled it now is, for the most part, I mean, my medication has helped dial me down substantially. Um, I'm not near as irritable as I used to be. I still am irritable at times. And I can feel it coming on where it's kind of, I'm uncomfortable and things are kind of annoying me. So I think you got to check yourself there. First and foremost, I think you can feel and you need to be self-aware of when you start to have those feelings of irritability, because that's where they can escalate into full-blown anger. Again, I think that's where you break out, your prayerful verse, break out your object that you hold on to, say a prayer, whatever. You need to like think about that when you start to have those irritability feelings, that's usually what can manifest themselves into full-blown anger. Now, as far as the anger goes, I don't know if this has been a great thing, but what I've ended up doing is I've been not around people. So if I get really angry, I'm in the car, like parked. So like I'm kind of screaming or getting mad at things, and it's kind of me and God, and that's it. So I'm not really affecting any person. So I've really made a choice to not have those moments where I'm really angry to be directed at an individual. And I think that's really important, because if it's directed at individuals, that's where there's challenges with love and acceptance. They start to think that we're out of control. They don't understand that part of bipolar is massive irritability, and it can manifest itself into frustration and anger. Um, Again, I think that we as individuals need to exhibit a degree of self-control outside of our illness. So that's what I've done, and it's worked pretty well. I really have made a conscious choice to not do that around my kids and around my wife. I did that initially around my wife when we first got married, and then as I got diagnosed, I realized that, I need to not do that. It was hard. Self-control when you're mentally, having these issues is not easy, but it takes discipline, like everything else that we've talked about. It takes practice. And so to me, you need to step away. You need to get away from the situation. You need to not throw that grenades at someone else. That's huge. You're throwing grenades at someone else, you're pretty much, you're going to be in the doghouse, and no one's going to sit and have any sort of compassion or understanding or appreciation for what you're going through. It's going to happen, but I think you need to prep them and say, there's going to be times where I'm irritable. If you happen to notice that I'm irritable, please let me know in case I don't see it. So that's the other thing, is having the individual that's a loved one or a friend or whoever, that they become self-aware too for watching when you have these symptoms. So there's my take on how to handle anger as it relates to bipolar and any other mood disorder that manifests itself in anger. God bless everybody.